Hello, goblins. It's Chris, Eldritch Pipes. It's an episode of this week's Pipes. Of course. I'm smoking some jarred Tilbury. Haven't smoked it for about a week. Trying to smoke other things. But finally it was like today. Yes. Got to have a bowl of Tilbury. It's always worth the wait. It's a bank holiday weekend here, so today's a bank holiday. Monday's a bank holiday. It's a long weekend. So I'm not exactly putting my feet up, but I'm going to enjoy it. What have I been up to this week? A lot of sci-fi watching. On Netflix I watched The Three-Body Problem. And it's really good. I really enjoyed it. It's quite coy with details. It doesn't really... I've not read The Three-Body Problem. It's a book adaptation. I've not read the book. But the show doesn't give a lot away. It's very, what's the word? Measured. The details, sort of, the plot points come out in very leisurely little drops. But that's okay. The actors are really good. The characters are really good. Apart from one who's a bit whiny. But, and again, I got no way of comparing the characters to the characters in the book, but in the show, a bit whiny. But apart from that character, it's just a good show. So Three-Body Problem, I recommend. Do not expect any resolution by the end of season 1, though. Probably things are just getting started. Also finished watching a show on Apple TV, Constellation, which is also really good. Really enjoyed it. An astronaut in space comes back down to Earth, but their memories of things is different from how things are. That's probably the best way to put it. And it's, again, quite a measured unravelling of the story. I should have said about the Three-Body Problem. It takes place in at least 2 different time frames, and slightly in a third. One in sort of early 70s China, and one in present day UK. And kind of the mystery, at least in the beginning, is the apparent spate of scientists killing themselves or being otherwise unalive. I say the 2 shows together are a good way to spend your time. Chris Ferraby on Instagram mentioned a blend that I probably have come across in the past, because at one point I was looking a lot at GLP's blends and trying to discover which ones I really resonated with. But this one went under my radar at the time, because when I was doing that, I was a Latakia fiend. Whereas now I'm a solid Vapor fan. And so I completely overlooked this blend. It's called Stratford. And by my current reckoning, it sounds like the right stuff. So I've now got to get my hands on some Stratford. So I'll have to get that and then let you know what I make of it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying Stratford. It sounds good. All right. This week's pipes. I'm going to start with the pipe that I've been finishing with the last couple of episodes. And yes, that's right, I made this strawberry upside down. It's a new technique. This week's strawberry in Cordovan Sandblast with earth and ivory stem. Really just nice, sort of medium light blast. There you can see the ring grain and the straight grain. Really nice figured piece of earth and ivory. Lots of linear striation. You never know what you're going to get because it's liquid dynamics you're dealing with. But this one is like, it's quite linear, which is quite nice. But there we go. You've seen it before and you'll see it again. In fact, when it hits June, you'll be seeing almost nothing but. Speaking of pipes of the year, the Birmingham Pipe Club are having their pipe of the year done soon. They're having theirs done by Ian Walker. That's Northern Briars. And it looks like I'll be making the stem material for it. It's yet to be confirmed, but the club colours are like a dark green and a yellow. And Ian asked if I could do a material like that. So I did a test and sent it off to him last week. So I'll receive that by now. And I think on their next meeting, which is this coming Wednesday, I think, they're going to show you guys what it looks like. So it'll be interesting to see if I get the go-ahead to make a full batch. I hope so, because it looked good. Now, the next two were a pair. They're going off to Pat in Singapore. He requested these two pipes after seeing the first one that I made a couple of weeks ago. 3-4 weeks ago. It was a shorter, lighter version of the Acorn with a filter. made it a kind of walking pipe version of the Acorn. It's already a fairly light pipe. These are even lighter. And the shortness stops it. This slightly reduction in length means it doesn't, it's not hanging out so far. So the first one is in Cordovan Sandblast with Earth and Ivory stem. It's just a really lovely, rich coloured combination. Look at the ring grain popping off on that guy. Saddle stem for the strawberry. "6mm filter. I use I size these for the Elephant brand, so it is a activated carbon filter, not a lot of the 6mm ones that you find are just the balsa wood, so they're not really filters. These are proper filters. So yeah, a kind of walking pipe version of the Acorn. The actual stummel length is exactly the same as the normal Acorn. I fear that changing those dimensions would mess up the feel of the Acorn. The Acorn wants, in my mind, that long shank. That kind of obviously the bowl shape defines the acornness, but this is the branch that the acorn's on, obviously. So it's got to have some length to it. So I didn't want to touch that. So it's just a slightly shorter stem. Which, to be fair, causes its own little complications when making a filtered stem. But, we cope with these things, it's fine. And since I said they were a pair, you can well imagine. Oop, there you go. So this guy is obviously the same design, but this time in a black rustication. With moss green Cumberland. It's always kind of interesting. This is quite a lean shape. Normally when I rusticate into quite meaty shapes. Just because you got a lot of room to move in. Rusticating the Acorn, I have to be a bit more careful. There's not so much room to move, but still, it's a fun finish. I can't remember if I've rusticated an Acorn before. I think I must have, at least one. And again, "6mm filter. So there you go, Pat. Hope you like those. Those will be going off to you on Monday. I'll send you some photos before. Awesome. That's this week's pipes. Now I was going to look at my sheet and see what I had coming up next, because I'd started announcing next week's commissions, just so you had some idea of what might be coming up. And then I totally forgot. So I'm going to do it now. Who's up next? It is Bill Lee with a Brothers of the Yellow Sign pipe. Yes. I did one of those last week, and so I'm all limbered up for Brothers of the Yellow Sign. All right, awesome. And then some more crazy pipes coming up this month. By this month, I mean April, because we're into April now, or at least we will be by the time I start making pipes again. All right, that's it from me. I'll be back, all being well, next week. So till then, take it very easy, your loyal pipe maker.